Good afternoon, everyone. Are you okay? Okay. I will make a very interesting story, but I want it to come out as a lesson for us to learn a few things. But I'll take us back to moments that have shaped my life. One of the moments that have shaped my life. And I'll start with one brilliant evening. I was in the dealing room looking at multiple screens, full of currencies, full of numbers, full of different instruments, with all sorts of colors. And for us who are not familiar with the dealing room, it's like a control room or a marketplace for banks and financial institutions where they buy and sell different asset classes. They make money from there. That's where the most revenue for the banks comes from. So that point, I was quite young, and I asked myself, how did I get here? I was looking at numbers that still baffle me up to now. Millions of dollars, trillions of shillings. And I asked myself, how did I, Ignatious Kirunga, end up here? And that's a story I want to tell. A story that is not about financial markets, but about resilience, about learning, about applying yourself, about consistency and discipline. So prior to that, straight out of university, I joined the risk department. Risk was full of spreadsheets, control. Risk is like the gatekeeper of a bank. They try to either manage risk, more or less like the gateman, midway. And I was excellent, I got comfortable, but with great mentorship. I remember the then CEO, Mr. Patrick Mweheire. I realized my passion was in numbers. And that's how I transitioned to global markets after 2 years of doing risk work. But that transition for me at an age of 26 was also challenging at first. And to give you a brief background of myself, I'm a computer scientist. My bachelor's, my master's was also in a different thing, but it was an unknown territory for me as well. But I applied myself. I love numbers. I studied all the courses. I became a dealer in the bank. And I know many of us are asking, dealers like Kemi. So these are people who enable clients to get favorable exchange rates, like currencies, to help you invest money, get good rates, to help the bank make money as well, in simple terms, right? Now, being a dealer at that age, I got to understand that information was scarce. I got to understand not very many people were aware. And for me, that gave me the passion to try and read more, apply myself, understand the markets. And within a short time, I was given a very big opportunity in the bank, at a very tender age, to manage the money markets desk for the World Bank. And I remember by the time I left to in trillions of Uganda shillings in turnover, which came out of growth with my team, with my members, but it came out of guidance, listening to the markets. It's funny, but you do. Listening to the mentors, my leaders, listening to customers, understanding what customers want before you push any product to them, and listening to colleagues as well, and also believing in that big man up there, because you can do wonders with him. So it was a good safe space for me, and that's where I got the passion to try and learn and teach people beyond the bank, beyond my normal days, to teach them about investments, to teach them about all these different asset classes. And to give you an example, one of them is treasury bills and bonds. I don't know if we have an idea what that means, but it's simple. It's a tool that is used by any government in the world to manage the monetary policy. But it can be used to control inflation, it can be used to finance budgets, but in simple ways, you're lending money to the government, but you're getting a benefit. You're getting interest back, you're growing your money. So it became my passion to say that I will teach people about investments. I loved the numbers. I was doing very well. I was excellent. I was comfortable, and applied myself with time, obviously, with discipline as well. And as per that journey wasn't easy, to be honest. You get to learn the systems, you get to learn the different markets, the different books. But once you love something and you enjoy it and you persist and you're consistent, there's nothing that is impossible. So, time down the road, that also made me discover that leadership sometimes is not about having all the answers. It's about helping others thrive. Serve beyond yourself. And that's where my passion for trying to teach people comes from, advise people, that I still do today. So I was comfortable. I had done my work. I'd grown the bank's book, had made record revenues that I had not made before with the support of the team. And I see I need to take on a new challenge. Many people thought I was crazy. So I left the bank 2 years ago. I left the bank to venture into something else in American Towers, where I was serving as a senior manager commercial. And then now I've grown into a senior manager business development Africa that look after a couple of countries, which was a different field from what I was doing. But still, American Towers helps us connect to talk to each other through investments in this telecom infrastructure. But still, it has money to it as well as investments. So, for me, what's the lesson I'm trying to leave with you with all this? What is it that I'm trying to tell? That the story has to start with us. It has to be us to start everything if you want to see any change. And it takes time, it takes discipline, it takes consistency, but don't wait for things to be stable. Take that step forward. In those unshaky and uncertain places, that's when you discover a true capacity. That you can actually be capable of anything, you can create all these different changes that are there, that are possible, that you shouldn't be in a place to be afraid of taking a step forward and leap into something that is unknown. So it's coming from a place to say that once you have discipline, once you're consistent, once you have the courage, and with God's guidance, obviously, anything is possible. And we are the ones in charge of our shares. We are the ones in charge of making and looking at Africa in a different way, creating impact from ourselves, starting in ourselves, but with people around us and Africa at large. Thank you so much.